kind of annoying because there are a lot of words and there are a lot of ways to structure it, okay? And so your textbook breaks it down a certain way, so I'm just going to go with it like that, all right? It starts off, and I hope I did this right because I'm not a math person, comparisons of inequality. Okay, so when something does not equal something else, okay? When you want to make an unequal statement, all right, you use the word either más o menos, and just to review, what does más mean? More, and menos? Less. Okay, so something is either more than something or less than something, okay? Adjective, you can compare adjectives, so like descriptive things. So someone could be taller than someone else, or something could be more expensive than something else, or something could be smaller than something else, okay? For ADV, that's an adverb, and I don't think we've gone over these. Does anyone know what an adverb is? In English, they typically end in ly, yes. An adverb is to a verb what an adjective is to a noun. All right, a verb is an action. An adverb tells you how the action is being done. Quickly, slowly, difficultly, things like that. Okay, so if, something is faster than something else, okay, if something is slower, etc. Okay, and then of course nouns, person, place, thing. All right, in this case, I suppose I could, I have more kids than Logan. Okay, that would be an unequal comparison, más hijos que. All right, but typically you're talking about things. All right, so once you have the thing, then you always use the word que. All right, and I just went with names, but you can actually flip around, whomever, whatever. The only thing that really you have to watch out for is when it comes to the main verb that you're using. So for adjectives, obviously, to describe things, we use the verb ser, okay? So, and I apologize for not making the names more diverse. I had to write them quickly. So Joe es más alto que Juan. Joe is taller than John, okay? One's in English, one's in Spanish. All right, so comparisons of adjectives, unequal, okay? Someone is taller than someone else, okay? When it comes to adverbs, Joe corre más rápido que Juan. Joe runs faster than John, or in normal English, Joe is faster than John, okay? So you're comparing how they do something. Finally, nouns. Joe tiene más dinero que Juan. Joe has more money than John. Okay? So, más or menos. And I only did the more. I mean, you could also flip it. Joe es menos alto que Juan. John is shorter than. Joe corre menos rápido. He runs less quickly. I mean, slower, but literally I just said less quickly than John. Joe tiene menos dinero. Joe has less money than John. Okay? Questions on this, really fast. Because then we have unequal comparisons with verbs. Okay? In this case, we're talking about somebody doing more of something or less of something than someone else. Okay? So you always have the verb first, and then you would add either más que or menos que. So, Joe come más que Juan. Joe eats more than John. Okay? Joe estudia menos que Juan. Joe studies less than John. Okay? Joe trabaja más que Juan. Joe works more than John. All right? So, it's an unequal comparison of actions. All right? Finalmente. Okay. Oh, no. Sorry. Sometimes we use numbers when we do an unequal comparison. Okay. And in this case, I suppose I could have gone with the same formula. Joe tiene más de 10 libros. Joe has more than 10 books. Okay? In this case, you combine más de or menos de and then whatever number. Okay? So in this case, tengo más de 10 libros. I have more than 10 books. Tengo menos de $100. I have less than $100. Yeah, no, really, I do. Okay? To give an unequal thing of numbers. The last thing, nope, didn't work. There are always irregulars, always. Okay? And so in this case, mejor means better, peor, worse, menor, younger, and then mayor, older. Okay? In this case, then, you would combine the irregular with the word que. So, Joe es mayor que Juan. Joe is older than John. Okay? Juan es mejor que Joe. Juan is better than Joe. All right? It's irregular because we're not, adding anything else to it. All right? We're just saying better or worse or younger or older. Okay? Now, everything I've just babbled on, okay, if you look at page 188, all right, numero uno, the first part, because there's, 2 parts, those are the comparisons of inequality, okay? So all of this is unequal, all right? There are also comparisons of equality, okay? Honestly, these are a little bit easier for me, okay? You start with the word tan, T-A-N, and then once again, adjectives, descriptive words, or adverbs, descriptive of your action, and then como, all right? So, Joe es tan alto como Juan. Joe is just as tall as John, okay? So they're equal, all right? Joe corre tan rápido como Juan. Joe runs just as fast or just as quickly as John. Okay, so their speed is equal. Okay, so in this case, tan and then como, kind of the same structure, but for this, unlike before, we only use it for adjectives and adverbs. Okay, when it comes to nouns, okay, remember, because nouns can either be masculine or feminine, singular or plural, we have to use the correct form, okay? So, tanto, masculine singular, tanta, feminine singular. Tantos, masculine plural, tantas, feminine plural. Whatever noun, okay, person, place, thing, all right? And then, of course, como. All right. So once again, you can use it for people if you're talking about yo tengo tantos hermanos como Logan. I have just as many siblings as Logan. We have the same amount. Okay. But typically, it will be like things that you're comparing. All right. So Joe tiene tantos libros como Juan. Joe has just as many books as Juan, okay? Because libros is masculine plural, we use the masculine plural, okay? Joe hace tanta tarea como Juan. Joe does just as much homework as John, okay? So because tarea is feminine singular, we use feminine singular to make that comparison, okay? Preguntas on this. All right. So, that is then comparisons of equality. Okay. Now, with verbs, and I just realized I forgot to throw that up there. Okay. When it comes to equality as verbs, you combine tanto como, okay, and you have your verb. Lo siento. So, estudio tanto como de. Okay? Let's go with you. I study just as much as Dale does. All right? We do the same amount of action. Okay? Let's see. Joe trabaja. Joe works tanto como Juan. Joe works just as much as John. Okay? Now, the second part is superlatives. All right? When we think of superlatives, all right, the most, the best, the greatest, the largest, the easiest, the hardest, okay, those are superlatives. All right? And so, in this case, okay, we split kind of things up un poquito, okay? But it's actually simpler because when it comes to superlatives, typically we only use adjectives, okay? Because obviously, you know, being the best, being the greatest, being whatever is a description, all right? So, depending on the noun, depending on the thing that you're calling, all right, it will be masculine, feminine, singular, plural, okay? What does mas mean again? What is menos? Okay? But in this case, when we combine mas or menos with the adjective, okay, it becomes the bestest, or the greatestest, or the largest, or the funniest, or whatever. Literally, we're saying it's the more biggest, or the more bigger, sorry. Yeah. If you translate it literally, it's like, you know, el hombre más alto, he is the more taller man, okay? But you're basically saying that there's nobody taller than that person. Now, you can either just make a simple superlative statement, or if you want to compare it to a group, you would add de and then the group that you're saying is, you know. So, el hombre más alto mundo means world. So, the tallest man in the world. El hombre más alto del mundo. Okay? Doing something a little más pequeño. Joe es, okay, Joe is, el estudiante, okay, so el a noun, más inteligente de la clase. How would you say that in English?
He's the smartest student in the class.
Muy bien, gracias, Logan. All right, yeah, Joe is the smartest. All right, so sorry, y'all are dumb. All right, en la clase. Okay, so you can either just make a general superlative or actually, you know, give us the group that you're comparing it against. Okay, finalmente, all right, we do have irregulars. Okay, in this case, when it's unequal, mejor means better. But when it's superlative, mejor means best, okay? So obviously, so Santos, how do I know if I'm saying the best or better? Well, context, all right? You kind of have to read the whole sentence. Peor, the worst. Mayor, the oldest. Or menor, the youngest, okay? Now, I know that we did Familia in Spanish 101 last semester, but here's kind of where it, you know, you can start tying things in. Is anyone here el mayor or la mayor? D? Logan? Andres? All right. So you're the oldest. You're like the second parent to the younger one. Okay, muy bien. All right. Anyone here el menor or la menor? Wait, you're the baby? Oh, Brookie. Or no, I'm sorry, that's unprofessional. All right, so la baby. She's like, but I am la baby. Okay, so see, la menor.
I'm sorry, middleman.
Yeah, lo siento. We have no. Sorry, all you middle children. Yeah, we don't have a word. All right, we're just forgetting you like we normally do. Okay, so yeah. All right, so talking about that. Okay, so preguntas. I know it's mucho, and we have about